Did you get a couple of good leads for the affiliate summit?
Yeah, the affiliate summit was great. I met up with Tim Johnson over there, and yeah, I think you probably remember him. He's the one that did the sales training for us.
Who? What's his name?
Tim Johnson. He came in and did the that hour sales training where he overcame all the objections everybody came up with.
Oh yes,
that guy from Texas.
The Marine guy.
Yeah, he's not from Texas. I think he's from Indiana. But anyway, he was there. We hung out for a while, and he actually is very well connected throughout the whole affiliate world. So he connected me with a bunch of different people. It was all really good stuff.
Cool.
So I was kind of chewing on your concept last week.
Uh-huh.
And I think I got a good one for you.
Oh, God. Awesome. Let me grab a piece of paper.
Yeah, I think we got a winner.
Okay, so I've got a couple ideas.
No wieners.
No wieners.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Let me pull it up here.
Did Barbara let you go to the AE conference that was going on over there too?
AE, what's that one? Oh, I got it. No, that one's actually not going right now. It's 2 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
So they apparently changed venues because too much conflict.
Well, of course.
So there's still chance. It's 2 weeks out. So let me share my screen with you, and you can see what we got going on here.
You couples don't come to life.
So I kind of took the whole 4-hour work week thing, and spun it into a webinar. So I got discover the simple 3-step system to turn the dream of the 4-hour work week into a reality.
Oh my. Couples don't come to life.
So I thought that might, and I'll probably change this PDF from the predictable client getting system into something that has to do with the 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's a dream for most people, and they don't really think that it could ever even be a reality. And hey, hold on just a second. Molly, hold on a second.
No problem.
She's going down the street. You better. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I moved in. I was in the kitchen here working on some lunch. So if others jump in, I will move back to the office.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I came up with there. But like I said, I'm going to change this one out and get a new cover for it. But I think that's really a good concept because, like Tim Ferriss discovered, nobody really wants what we're offering. They want what they want.
They want the results.
And I think for the entrepreneurs and the business owners, what's more appealing than the 4-hour work week?
Yeah, that's.
And I think we can come across with that. Then I also changed, like when they sign up for it here. I'm using ClickFunnels for this, so I just kind of got a quick, simple funnel going here. So after they sign up for it here, they'll put their address in there. I got to change this. This was just a template.
Right.
And then once they do that, then they'll get invited over here after they download to sign up for the webinar.
Oh, good. Okay.
So again, I'll have to kind of tweak and change this copy around a little bit, but that's what I've come up with so far, and it blends into the whole Pareto chop thing really nicely.
Right.
So it makes for a good front end for it.
Chopping out all the extra.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's how they're going to get their 4-hour work week, no matter how you slice it.
Literally.
Exactly. Slice out big pieces or little pieces, and
Okay, I like that idea.
yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what I came up with for you.
Yeah, I can see that working really well with React, and then modifying it a bit to do the actual marketing, the internet marketing side.
Yeah, because also too, when you guys are prospecting and you're trying to get clients in, I think this would also work for them. Obviously, it would be a different back end, but I think the same thing on the front end offer. You know, when you're trying to get appointments with clients, you know, and even saying what you do, you can say, you know, we take entrepreneurs and turn their dream of the 4-hour work week into a reality. Because I think that's pretty compelling. I think that's something that like, wow, you know, tell me more about that. I want to know about that.
Right, right.
Because it's like, you know, one of the things that we've discovered is nobody wants SEO, right?
We don't talk SEO. We talk about other things like artificial intelligence.
They don't wake up and say, yeah, I want SEO. They wake up and want what they want.
Yeah, you gotta get down to the what they want.
Yeah, so that's, you know, and I think for most business owners, especially the small business owners, you know, they're looking for that freedom, and the 4-hour work week really spells that out for them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you ask the question, let's take, you know, line up 100 business owners against the wall and ask the question, you know, would you like SEO? You know, 100% of them are going to say, nah. If you ask them, you know, how would you like to live the 4-hour work week? I think you'd get, you know.
Everybody would be like, yeah, how?
I think the ones that said no to that, you'd probably thank them for their participation and send them home.
Yeah, literally.
So it's a door opener. You know, it's not like you can literally sell them the 4-hour work week, but it's a door opener to get them what they really need to do what they need to get done.
Right, to catch that attention, to say, hey, it may be possible.
And that is marketing. That's creating demand and desire for what you have. Because the reality is nobody wants what we have. They want only what they want. And the only way we can get them to have demand and desire for what we have is to show them how it's going to get them what they want.
Right, yeah, I've been mulling it over a lot this week also. And I came across a quote that was, the road to profits is paved by unfair advantage.
Oh, that's a great one. I like that.
So I started looking at that going, okay, how does that work? And the idea of an unfair advantage is one that's not easily duplicated or repeated.
Yeah.
So I liked that idea. I ran it past Gay, and she's like, I don't know if I like unfair, because that's what I hear is unfair. I don't hear profit or advantage.
Yeah,
So,
but something that I know about business owners is they like an unfair advantage.
exactly.
They don't care about playing by the rules.
You're right.
If they did, they'd be working for somebody.
But my thought was, how do I use somebody else's quote, or should I modify it and make my own?
I don't see any problem using a quote like that. Do you know who did it? Who the quote was from?
Yes.
Who's it from?
I gotta find it again. I wrote it down.
Christina Day.
No.
But you did.
Like somebody famous or something, or a marketer?
He's a blogger.
Oh, okay.
Writes for entrepreneur.com.
That's pretend.
So let me get to my ACT workbook page.
Well, see, that right there could actually work to your advantage. The fact that he's a blogger for entrepreneur.com could definitely work to your advantage, because that's like third-party data. You know, when you make a claim proof benefit.
Right, that could be the proof.
So that could be wrapped right into the proof. You know, you could say, you know, you could make the statement and say, this was said by so-and-so of Entrepreneur Magazine, and then look him up and find out a little bit about his background, and then attach that to it too as third-party proof.
That might work really well too.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think that that could be great.
I can find the right page on my workbook.
And especially since you're quoting him and you're naming him, I don't think you'd have any problem with that at all.
Yeah, probably not, because then I can use him. Others had used that same quote and turned it into their own blog.
Yeah.
He has a whole blog on that.
Yeah.
That was by Entrepreneur.
Yeah. You could almost make your own claim where that became the proof statement.
Sometimes you
Now, how would I turn it into another claim then?
Yeah, if you like, let's say you had a claim. Let's say you were dealing with a belief that success is hard. So let's say your prospect had the belief that success isn't easy. So you can make the claim that success is easy if you know what to do, and then you can make that statement. You can make that quote. And then you can reference the blogger at entrepreneur.com that actually made that statement. And then you can tie that over to, you can tie that over to the Pareto chop, or, however you want to tie it in to whatever you want to, attach it to on your side.
Oh, how come I am not finding it? I got to find my big idea on my ACT page, so I'm scrolling pages as you're talking.
But there's another guy that used something very similar to that in the SEO world.
Mm-hmm.
Many, many years ago. It was I forget the name of the company, but they're still doing what they're doing. They do a newsletter, and they're out of Hawaii. Planet Ocean, I think it was called. And they were one of the first ones that did studies and documentation on the algorithms across all the search engines. So they had this big master grid, because back in the beginning, there was probably 20 different search engines you could optimize for.
Right.
And they had this grid of all the different factors and which factors affected which engines, at what rates. And it was really beneficial, and you subscribed to their newsletter, and then they kept it updated. Every month they'd give you a new update to it. And what they did is they made a statement of winning the search engine wars using an unfair advantage.
Ooh.
And the unfair advantage really was knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to all kinds of stuff to the beginning of time of, that even goes to biblical scripture. That goes to men are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
What was that company again?
That comes right out of the Bible.
True. That was, what'd you call it? Blue Oceans or?
Planet Ocean.
Planet Ocean. Okay. They still exist.
Yeah, they still exist. They're not quite cutting edge like they were, 20 years ago, but I know they sell SEO training. I took one of their trainings a couple of years ago, and it was it was fairly worthless. It was all pretty common knowledge stuff at this point. But the way they marketed that, right in the beginning was that whole unfair advantage thing. They said, learn to win the search engine wars using an unfair advantage. And the unfair advantage was the knowledge that they would hand you on a silver platter.
Yeah. Okay. This one, the road to profits is paved with unfair advantages, is Lewis Howes, Howes.
Okay. So yeah, I think that might be a really good proof statement. And tying it to that third party, that it's not just you saying it, it's somebody from Entrepreneur Magazine. I think that would be pretty solid.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that's where he's from. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw him first. He's on Brainy Quotes.
Yeah, and you could make a statement you could make a statement of something to the effect of, use knowledge as your unfair advantage to take your business to the next level. And then use his statement as proof of that being true. Yeah, go ahead, Ted.
So I'm working on something called Find Your Sense of Presence. Learn how to beat someone who's beating you in the search results.
Okay.
It's kind of a direction I'm going in.
Somebody's jump in.
How are they doing their marketing? Is it similar to this? Like with the unfair advantage type of statement?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, no, this is something I'm working on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of my angle into it is find your sense of presence online.
Got it.
Find out how to beat someone that's beating you in the results,
Got it. Okay. That could tie into the fact that people feel like they're behind the eight ball. They feel like somebody's got an advantage over them. And I know a lot of the business.
Yeah, it's for the ones that are banging their head against the wall.
Yeah. I know a lot of the business owners that I've spoken to, over the last 10 years about SEO, they all have that feeling. Like one of the things that they're feeling is they're feeling like their competitors are beating their pants off. It's just they're beating them in every direction, and they don't know how, and they don't know why, and they don't know what to do about it. So
right.
I think that probably rings very true. And one thing they know is the customers are changing to online. They're shopping online, and they feel like they're at a disadvantage because they're not as good at that as, say, the competitors. And they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how they're doing it, and they're very frustrated by it. They feel like they need an unfair advantage. They feel like those other people have an unfair advantage over them. So the fact that they could take that back is very powerful. So I think spinning it into that kind of a conversation, definitely, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, cool. Let us know, as you work through that, what you come up with. That's a pretty cool idea.
Okay.
Definitely. So, all right. So, anything else?
I found his article. I don't know. Let me see if I can share my screen if you want.
Okay, sure. This is on entrepreneur.com?
Yes. So here's the title of the article, 4 Ways to Pull Ahead of Your Competitors in Business. And it's Lewis Howes. And he starts it out with that quote. So
Yeah, I love that. even his title, if you go back up to the title, I think nailed it in the title too.
Right.
That 4 ways to pull ahead of your competitors in business. That's really strong. You know, you don't have to say the 4 ways, but you could say how to. You could actually do a webinar, and you could entitle the webinar "How to Pull Ahead of Your Competitors in Business." And then you could also use that, you know, the road to profits is paved with unfair advantages. I don't really think I think that's probably something that came from somewhere else. I don't think that's like something, you know, that he specifically wrote. I think if you Google it, if you take that phrase and you
Google it.
You put it in quotes?
He's on Brainy Quotes saying it.
Okay.
Let me try it real quick. All right, I did the search. So the road to profits is paved.
No more than.
How about how to get your smile back online?
How to get your smile back. So Brainy Quotes shows it from him. Yeah, that might work too, Ted, as another theme. That'd be good.
You must be on a different screen or something.
You know, failing.
Is it on a different screen? It's not popping.
You know, how to get your smile back online.
Let me stop sharing and reshare. Stop.
Yeah, I was just seeing a new browser window there.
How about that?
Let's see, it's taking it a second here to pop through.
Yeah. It didn't pop in?
It's still working on it.
Okay.
Still chewing on it.
Yeah. Brainy Quotes attributes it to the Lewis House.
Okay.
And Celebrity Facts contributes it to him. And Meaning Quotes attributes it to him.
Okay. How about changing it slightly?
Yeah.
Like you could say, you know, instead of the first piece, you could leave the road is paved with unfair advantages, but just change the first thing to be in alignment with, you know, the desired outcome. Like you could even say, you know, business growth. What did he call it? Business success, or?
He said the road to profits.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I was thinking one of the ones I came up with was the road to success paved with, or is one with a sustainable advantage. That was it. The road to success is achieved with sustainable advantage.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that zing.
Yeah, I really like that whole paved with unfair advantage. That's really cool. You could actually change it to the road to wealth.
Yeah, that would say the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because profit, wealth,
how about this?
business growth.
Unfair advantage is the potholes to your road to wealth. Potholes. You know what a pothole is, sweetheart?
I know what a pothole is. That's usually what slows you down, though.
Right. So an unfair advantage.
I said off my balance bag, falling into a.
Yeah, it's
Unfair advantage is the potholes to the roads to success.
Or take away the.
yeah. You've got it. You've got the negatives reversed out there.
Well, I do, because, you know, you guys are trying to spin it, so I was like, well, let's spin it right. Obviously, you guys are targeting those people that feel that they have an unfair advantage. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have the wing, but you're looking at me funny, and it's starting to get irritating. So I'm going to.
That's because you're not making sense. Because a pothole is your unfair advantage would be getting rid of the pot.
No.
You fall in the pot, you don't have an unfair advantage.
So unfair advantage as the pothole is the way I was pointing at it, making the title. You didn't catch that part.
Neither did John.
I'm still not catching it.
Not either.
Yeah,
We'll hammer it around.
No, it's just you had the negatives headed the wrong direction. Could be something that could definitely be worked out, because that's another one. You know, they talk about potholes and roads, but you'd have to switch it up a little bit to make it pan out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of where we're working on. But I'm going to throw in your 4-hour work week idea too. I've been mulling it over for the week.
Yeah. Well, now you've come up with an even better one. So.
John, what are you up to? Are you going to do any launches?
Yeah, that's actually why I was out at the affiliate summit this last week, or actually this week. I just got back from that. My intent was to go out and see if I could line up some affiliates to run our new funnel through, and I was pretty successful with that. So I think we'll probably be doing a soft launch here within the next couple of weeks. I need to get a couple of people to run this through. We're working on the funnels right now. I just showed the one there where we changed up to encompass the 4-hour work week, and it's the same thing. You know, we're going to come out with it. We're going to test it, and if we can get a viable funnel through affiliates, then I'm going to scale it up with paid traffic. And as soon as we scale that up, then we'll be up and running. And I'm hoping to do like 3 or 4 live events every year. So once
Is there any chance of seeing that?
The live events? Yeah, we should be able to stream those as well. So that should be pretty cool. It won't give you the same feeling as being there and working with the coaches and working your way through it, but yeah. And we can also record them. I've got all the recording equipment as well, so we'll definitely be recording those events too.
Hey, John.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, fine. Living the dream. Hey, did I mention to you that I built a multi-$1,000 webcasting system with redundant backups and everything you need to webcast, including switchers, cables, you name it. So
yeah, I know you had told me you were working on that for some company that needed it, and you said you might as well just build the system yourself and have it. Yeah,
so it's pretty badass, and I've got all the I've just been pieced anyway. Sorry, didn't mean to distract, but I'm just saying, if you want a webcast, you are talking to the right guy.
All right. Yeah, we should definitely look at that. So that would be cool, because there's a lot of people. Several of the affiliates that I got in contact with are European affiliates, and they say they eat this market up, and so that would be pretty cool to broadcast it out for them.
Chris, is that something you can use on YouTube Live?
Yeah, that's why I unmuted. A brilliant Ted Gold Star. Just in a nutshell, I was webcasting for Amgen. But what was happening is that they were getting locked out. Some of their employees couldn't do it because of the security on their web browsers and things like that. So what I'm trying to say is that on this last event, I cracked the code by jumping over to YouTube Live. And every single person on the last webcast of Different Amgen was able to do it because they finally unlocked their computers for YouTube. And so the point is, John, I can totally do that on YouTube for free, but the added benefit is that you can add all the search engines and all that jazz in advance to, prior to it happening. So
Wow.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Does that also include Facebook Live?
I would say yes. I've not done it, but I'm sure it's just fine. I needed to get to a broader audience doing YouTube, but I will tell you this: it's got some quirks to it, either that are in place for a purpose or that they're going to resolve. So there are some quirks around it, but because I tested it numerous times before I actually sent out the link address, I knew what to expect and everything went flawlessly. But I'm sure Facebook, as long as if it's got a destination and a password, to access that account, I can broadcast to anything, and simultaneously, as it turns out,
That's super.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you're simulcast, huh?
That's right, dude. You
So
you
that's
nailed-
like Wirecast, huh?
Well, the Wirecast is a software solution, but I have that as my backup to my backup. But I went with Matrox encoders, which are hardware solutions, which are awesome and give a cleaner and a lot more functionality. But Wirecast, if someone pulls out a plug or all hell catches loose, I can always, as a backup, do it on Wirecast from a laptop running on battery power.
That's
Man,
awesome.
that is so super.
So how do you connect the camera into that? Do you connect like the big camera into that, or is it through a screen camera, or how does that work?
The device I have, there's two ways to do it. With the hardware solution, with the Matrox Monarch devices, it has, depending on which one you get, it has HDMI in. And then the upgraded one has HDMI and SDI. So what you would do, you could either go right directly through a single camera right into the device, or if you're doing multiple cameras, which is always much more interesting visually, you just go out of the switcher HDMI into HDMI in. Now for the software solutions, if you're on a laptop, including a PC or a Mac, it has an HDMI connector, but that's purely HDMI out to a second monitor. So what you need to do if you're going to use software like Wirecast, which is a really great software, if you're going to use that, the laptop has to have an Ethernet out connection or a USB to Ethernet adapter. And to get the video in, whether directly through one camera or through a multi-camera switcher, either way, you need to have a USB 3, HDMI to USB 3 converter, or HDMI or SDI, that's the video standard, to Thunderbolt adapter. Those are made by Magwell, MAGEWELL, and it's about $300. And or Blackmagic Design has a Thunderbolt solution. So the signal it's no problem. You just have to have the right adapter to go into the laptop. And if you wanted to do multi-cam, just to finish it out, if you wanted to do 2 cameras, for example, but you didn't have all the hardware like a switcher and all that stuff, you can simply put 2 cameras into the laptop using 2 converters, 2 Magwell converters. You can put 2 into the 2 USB 3 inputs, and then in the Wirecast, that's one of the advantages of Wirecast software, it is a built-in switcher, and you can go back and forth from the 2. So that's how you can get multi-camera switching using that software and 2 adapters to get 2 cameras in.
Oh, that's cool. Do you know offhand my Sony? You're familiar with my Sony camera, right?
Yes.
Do you know, does that have HDMI output?
It would be really great if it did. Would. I know it definitely has HDMI. I think, I don't know. You
I
have to
don't
look.
remember offhand. I'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah, but look for the BNC adapter, on it. And the advantage of HDMI or SDI, serial digital interface, which looks just like a video cable with a BNC connector, the advantage is you can run it up to 300 feet, whereas an HDMI, you're like 33 feet at the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've got a 25-foot HDMI cable. That's about as long as I could find.
Right, right. And so I would look though, but you'd be able to tell usually it's in the back. If you got a BNC connector, then you've got SDI out.
Okay. Well, cool. That's awesome.
So you're going worldwide, baby.
That's right. You get the right affiliates, we'll go big. Go worldwide. Be good stuff. So yeah, you missed out. You missed out on a cool little Vegas getaway there.
Yeah, here's the thing. Whenever you're going somewhere, whenever you're going, like you never go fishing, you go hunting. So I knew you weren't going to just Las Vegas for the buffets. You were going, for like, the affiliate program or to learn something. So, but I had to freaking do my day job. So that's why this year I got to get my ClickFunnels in place so I can say goodbye to I can be master of my schedule.
There you go. Well, very cool.
Quick question on ClickFunnels.
Okay.
Is it worth trying to use them for like a website too, or just for the funnels?
Actually, you can build an entire website with ClickFunnels.
What does that do for your deep URLs? Because isn't it all tied with a ClickFunnel.com or something?
No, you can actually use Cloudflare is built right into ClickFunnels. So what you can do, you can set up your DNS to point to Cloudflare, and then your site will be hosted on ClickFunnels server, but it will be to your domain. And then inside ClickFunnels, you can adjust all the page names. So you can get your SEO built right into there. Now obviously there's more control if you don't use ClickFunnels. You can have a lot more control over your code. But I don't know the answer as far as from an SEO standpoint. I have not tried to SEO a ClickFunnels site, so I'm not really sure if there's any positive or negative to that. It might actually be positive, though, being on that server, because I'm sure they're going to associate that with a very good neighborhood and a ton of traffic. So, but again, it's based on your domain, so there's going to be a lot of factors there. But that's how you would do that. You would do that with Cloudflare, and I did that with Dominator Funnels. I don't know if you ever saw that website.
No.
Let me see. Let me see if it's still live here. Okay, yeah, so I'll show you. This entire website was built with ClickFunnels. So this is dominatorfunnels.com, and then you'll see I've got the different pages there. Services, why choose us, get a quote. But yeah, this whole site was built with ClickFunnels. So you can pretty much do anything you want with ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
So I was just messing around, playing around with it, and when I was working with Brian Delaney, and he said, "Yeah," he goes, "Why don't you build a whole site?" He gave me a template that was very similar to this, and I just kind of edited it just to play around with it. And I'm like, wow, it's pretty cool, because there's a lot of stuff inside ClickFunnels that is really cool as features on a website that you can use. Like if they start to scroll, you can pop windows up. A lot of marketing features that would be pretty difficult to build into, you know, a regular website. So the short answer is yes, absolutely. You can build an entire site with ClickFunnels. One of the things, if you're on their $99 plan, they do limit you to how many funnels and how many pages that you can have. So if you're building out a bunch of funnels, I think they have a limit of 10 funnels. And a website, they would consider that a funnel. So you could have up to 10 of those in your account. And then they limit you on pages, I believe, to 100 pages. So if you were building a website, you know, with a lot of pages, then you'd have to be on the higher level. Or if you were building multiple funnels and they had multiple pages each, then you know, you'd have to.
Here's my other somewhat ignorant question on websites and whatnot. What happens if you build your website on your regular server, and then can you tie in like your landing pages from ClickFunnels into that, so they're like web pages, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. If you, like, let's say you set your own site up, and your site is, you know, it can be in WordPress, it can be in whatever you want it to be in, and then you can create a page inside of ClickFunnels, and then ClickFunnels can give you the HTML for the page for you to put on your own domain. And you can literally name that page whatever you want, and you just upload it to your site, and then you can link directly to it. So like, let's say it's a landing page and you wanted ClickFunnels behind it. There's no problem with that. You can you just upload the page. Let me see if I can find an example of I know I've got one here somewhere. Give me a second to find it here. Oh, I know I've got one in here somewhere.
No worries.
Let me look up my FTP and I'll show you. I think it's called webinar registration. Watch out, the train's coming through. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I just found an example for you. Okay. I guess I have to share the screen. Okay, so can you see the screen there?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a perfect example. You're on the internetdominators.com website, and this is just a page, this webinar-registration.html. This is a page that ClickFunnels output for me, and I literally just FTP'd it up to the site, put it in the main web folder, and that becomes the address. So it's the domain.com / the name of that page. So this is completely done by ClickFunnels. If you look at the source, there's really nothing here. All this is, it's a meta tag and a script, and then it's basically, it's just linking. It's almost like a virtual window where it's an iframe and it's just pulling the information in from ClickFunnels. So even though the page is here, it's on my site right here. If I want to edit this, all I have to do is I just edit it in ClickFunnels and it automatically updates this page. I don't have to re-upload this page again to my server. I upload that shell one time, and then the contents of this page is being fed by ClickFunnels. So if I go over to ClickFunnels and I make a change to a title or anything, it just automatically updates this page as soon as I publish it at ClickFunnels. So does that make sense? That's an easy way to do it if you just want to host ClickFunnels pages on your own domain. In ClickFunnels, you just output it as an HTML page when you publish, and then it will give you that page. It'll give you the HTML to put on your site.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's a really easy way to do it. If you want the entire site on there, then you use Cloudflare. You set it up with Cloudflare, and then you just switch your DNS to point to Cloudflare to do your DNS, and then Cloudflare is connected inside of ClickFunnels already. So then your website would, display there. Now with Cloudflare, you might have other records. Like I know with Internet Dominators, I've got a bunch of different stuff that we're pointing to as far as our DNS. So I didn't really want to use Cloudflare for all of that. So I decided just to have the pages at ClickFunnels, and I just put them on this way. It's a lot easier. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so lots of different ways to do it, but that's an easy one to get the ClickFunnels pages over. It would not be ideal though if you wanted to do an entire website with ClickFunnels. If that were the case, you would probably want to go through Cloudflare like I did with the DominatorFunnels.com site. And it was pretty easy. It was pretty easy just switching the DNS to point to their name servers, and then inside there you can set up all the all the different records that you want, all that good stuff. So pretty easy, having done it a few thousand times, setting up all the DNS records. So, all right, anything else here? Any other questions or things you're working on you want to share? Or? All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. Be back online next week. I think I've got a clear schedule going out here for a while. So I don't see anything in our way for the next few weeks. So we will be on track. And I will get you guys some information. I've heard that Steelhouse is on the edge of their release for their prospecting tool. I know I'm pretty excited about that, pretty excited to share that with you guys. And they have a pretty awesome, cool platform to track stuff. And now they'll have it to actually generate leads for us too. So good stuff. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
All right.
Thank you.